light, love life. So how are you going to explain this to your grandchildren? Where were you at, Grandpa, when all these things was happening to humanity? Did you see any of this happen, Grandpa? Were you too scared to speak out, Grandpa? Or did you see it all happening, refuse to speak the truth, and now we're all in this situation? There's too much happening, okay, for anyone that sees this shit to stay quiet. Now, around 2022, 2023, I put out a song, and these parasites jump all over me. No one would voluntarily get in some shit with a $5 trillion company, but these parasites jumped all over me. Got into it a couple of years with them, and everybody who that knows how it goes knows exactly what happened when you speak the truth against these parasites. They'll run in on your business. They'll try to shut your business down. They'll try to disconnect your application from your website. They'll do all kind of things because you're speaking the truth. But let's see some videos here today, because there's a whole lot of stuff that we just cannot keep ignoring and thinking this shit's gonna go away. We're in such a situation where everybody that holds this dynamics here, maybe if we're not thinking sophisticated enough, we may think that everyone like this is our problem. But I'm telling you, you got to look into this more. All right?
Even a goy who bow down to an idol, who believe in JC, deserve death penalty. 6 billion idol worshippers who makes God angry every second of their life. Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Tibet, Nepal,
Who the fuck is this
Thailand.
germs?
So many. India
Who
alone is
the
500
fuck is
million.
this
China
germs,
is 2
though?
billion. So many. 2 billion Christians, which are idol worshippers. Between Chinese.
I even hear one of them say, some piece of shit, Ben Shapiro or some shit, say we shouldn't be able to retire at 65. In essence, saying all you Goyim and Shwazis, because I guess all the white ones they call them Goyams, and all the black ones, they call them Shwazis. All you Goyams and Shwazis should be our slaves, and we should work you to the death. But who the fuck does these germs think they are? This is ridiculous.
India, Hindus, Buddhists, and Christian, at least 6.5 billion people are idol worshippers that, according to the Torah, do not have the right to live. Idol worshipper goy, it's death penalty. Not only Jews, even a goy who bow down to an idol.
Here's a novel idea, my parasitic Khazarian friend. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Who could lend for 0% or didn't lend at all. And then these people called the Jews would come over and start lending money. They would start charging money. And in a couple generations, guess what would happen to the economy? The Jews owned everything. And then guess what the king...
It's anti-Semite to say it's anti-Semitic, according to you, to speak the truth. You can't say that you have a history of blood libel everywhere you go. People's children keep coming up, and there's this accusation that keep following you. That's all bullshit. It's all lies. Except we just keep missing 500,000 fucking children every goddamn year. You can't say it's not a right thing to say when you say that you would go into a country and take over all their finances and turn them into slave. You can't say it's wrong to speak the truth when you're doing the very same thing today. You can't say those people in Germany are all bad people when you go back and study and look and see that back in the bearded man times in Germany, you could have bought a freaking woman and her daughter and had sex with both of them. You can't say speaking out against that is wrong when you're doing this very same fuckery here.
Did rounded them up and threw them out of the country. Then they go to the next country, and what would they do? Same thing. And what would that king do? Round them up, kick them out of the country. This went on for thousands of years. This is why the Jews in history have had no country, because the king would have, they would say no usury.
So now you started your journey as Cain, Canaan, Canaanites, Phoenicians, Hyksos, the constant wanderer that never had a home. All of a sudden, you own the whole fucking world. Fuck out of here.
No money lending, and they would start the money lending. They would start the central bank to compete with the king. The king would kick them out. They go to the next country, do it again. So this has happened over and over and over again, because this quote right here from Napoleon, he was showed the compound interest tables, and he said in a very short amount of time, compound interest would eat up every piece of property in France. In fact, I'm going to show you how powerful compound interest is. Very scary thing. And there's a reason why it was illegal. Illegal in the Christian nations and the Christian philosophy, because it would literally enslave people.
Since this was the first human found 10,000 years ago and he has black skin, kind of seems like the royal families were all black.
So, going to heaven has never been our goal.
No
and
shit.
In that sense, Judaism is not a religion. Instead of wanting to go to heaven, which is the goal of most religions, Judaism wants to bring God down to earth. Why?
Get somebody to blow up a bus full of children or a building full of innocent civilians. You have to
There you go.
grind it into their minds. You have to wash their brains.
You gotta grind it into their mind.
It's religious, ethnic, racial.
Yeah. We gotta let them think it's the Arabs.
You can disregard.
Yo, the Goyans and the Swazis, they're so fucking stupid. You gotta let them think it's the Arab. Yeah, you gotta grind it into their mind. And even if they have the hint of the thought, they'll never speak the truth, because we own them.
All the normal rules of morality.
I mean, Bibi would call me so many times, can you get me this weapon, that weapon, that weapon? Some of them I never heard of.
Another baby.
I made them.
I'm sorry.
But we'd get them here, wouldn't we? And they are the best.
Or Isabella versus a 2,000 pound
But you used them well. It also takes people that know how to use them. And you obviously used them very well. But so many that Israel became strong and powerful, which ultimately led to peace. That's what led to peace.
You know what this is? This is the war that took place in America between 1492 and 1775 that nobody speaks of, because the same people that committed this genocide right here is the same people that committed the genocide during that time. So that's why I wrote the song. I've seen it before. 1492, Isabella sent fake Jews to come invade our shores. I've seen this before. Same criminal Berlin Conference, Africa, 1884. I've seen this before. Palestine, now are your time. Yeah, now it's your turn, buddy. I mean, we've seen this fucking movie before, over and over and over again. We've seen the movie before. 1800s China, or early 1900 China. I want to turn the entire people into a bunch of junkies. So my name is Sassoon. The parasite that went over there and turned them all into heroin addict. We've seen the fucking movie before, bro. We've seen this shit before.
Get somebody to blow up a bus full of children or
Fuck
a
outta
building
here.
full of innocent civilians. You have to grind it into their minds. You have to wash their brains and tell them there's a higher cause out there. It's religious, ethnic, racial, whatever.
Notice, I'm
And
literally
for that higher
scrolling
cause,
down.
you can disregard all the
I didn't
normal
put any videos aside. I'm
rules of morality.
scrolling. How could you look at these babies?
I mean, Bibi
How
would
could
call
you
me
look at
so
these
many
babies
times,
and
can you
think
get me
they're
this
fit for
weapon,
a
that
fucking
weapon,
bomb?
that
What the
weapon?
fuck is
Some of
wrong
them.
with
First
these
it was
people?
Nepal, now it's Italy. The people of Italy are in the streets. It's going on a week now. They found out that their government, Republican and Democrat, were all working together and just taking away and chipping away at the Italian people's rights, and they got sick and tired of that.
While he's talking about Nepal and Italy, I didn't know shit about that. What I do know is the people in Mexico realized that their parasite was a real parasite president, and there was an uproar in that. Everybody says that the parasites was only kicked out of 109 time. I think they're probably going to have to adjust their records because Venezuela just relieved themselves of their parasites.
That country in the Middle East that seems to have way too much control in their government. And guess what? They said, no, we're not going to be violent. We're just not going to work. We're not going to buy anything, and we're not going to pay our taxes. And you're going to go bankrupt. It's working, folks. It's working. And guess what? That country in the Middle East that's got their hands in every other country, look what's going on at TikTok. Look what's happening right now on Facebook. Look what they're doing on YouTube. Look what UK is doing with that.
Listen to me and listen to me good. Within 2 years or so, the beast is going to rip the harlot apart, just as it says in Revelation. So all these beast countries, these Gentile countries, and all these countries that the harlot went into and pervert, destroy them, they're going to all turn around and say, wait, what the fuck? This motherfucker's trying to destroy us from within. He's trying to make the blacks and the white fights over here. He's trying to make Hank and Abdullah fight in the Middle East just so he could sit aside and laugh and grow. We see you. And it's not going to work because humanity's a rock star. You're not going to defeat her. I promise you. You're not.
Digital ID. You can't work. You can't eat. You can't sleep. You can't nothing without this digital ID. It is stand in line, do as you're told, and that's coming. That's coming, kids. It's coming. And if you don't stand up now, we're going to be like dogs in a leash. We ain't going to be able to get to them. We ain't going to be able to get to them. You got to stand up, kids. Look at the world. It's got a blueprint for us. First it was Nepal, now it's Italy. The people of Italy are in the...
You got the children? Yeah. Good. Where's...
So I've just blew this shit the fuck up. Because I cannot sit around idly by while they are literally enslaving us before our eyes.
Okay.
The UN just had a meeting about pushing this carbon footprint.
Talk to me, my sister. Talk to me. Educate me on how they're enslaving us. Because, you know, I was educated in America, so I obviously couldn't know shit. Okay? I obviously was educated under a system who the parasites themselves wrote the curriculum. So we wouldn't know shit. As a matter of fact, our ignorance is their food source. So please, educate me. Tell me. Talk to me.
Bullshit. And tonight, Apple the Apple from Black Eyed Peas performed tonight, and he's going to be one of the first celebrities pushing this agenda, just like they were pushing the vaccine. I'm telling you all now, this is the precursor to global slavery. Policing humans on their carbon footprint is the precursor to global slavery. Wake the fuck up, people. You all just got fucking vaccinated. People just fucking died off the face of the earth. People are having health issues. And now it's okay to speak out against the vaccine when a lot of us were getting fact checked on social media. But now we can speak the truth. So guess what? They're going to do the same thing. It's the same pattern, same cycle over and over again, where they fucking police us. And then after like 10, 15 years, then all of a sudden it's okay. Then all of a sudden it's okay. But I'm not going to fucking stand here and let us get enslaved. So humans, wake the fuck up.
We love you, mama.
So I've
We
just
love
knew
you.
this.
The question again, and then you can pop in. You mentioned actively spreading AIDS.
There was a unit in my.
Imagine going to sleep on December 3rd.
Hey, Omri, why would you buy a satanic Bible if you believe in?
Yo, you have to watch this.
This New Year's, in the upcoming 10 days, is going to be a very big scam going across the whole entire country.
That's the worst thing you could do is like lie to yourself. Like it's a lot of people like.
Florida is now allowing blue state flags on their vanity license plates. This marks the first time in American history where a foreign flag is on our license.
Yo. Okay. I'm gonna do my part. These motherfuckers are already kicking me in the goddamn head. The wickedest thing about it is, fuck. 8 billion people in the fucking world, and I only know a dozen of them. How come the dozen people that I know sleep and refuse to fucking wake up? And there's nothing you could do to wake up these motherfucking plantation niggas. I'm just fucking done.
License plate. A blue state flag was also seen flying over a military base in San Diego, California. That's real footage. And if you look it up, that foreign flag has been flying a lot with our military.
What the fuck? I know what the fuck this shit means. I know what the fuck this shit means. When this shit is flying with your guard, I know what the shit it means. What the fuck? We're cooked. We're fucking cooked.
Not just military, but a lot of our high-ranking police officers are actually sent to Blue State for training. And go ahead, you can look that up and ask AI about it yourself. And have you seen how many blue state flags and signs there are in halls of U.S. Congress in Washington, D.C.? Who really owns and runs America?
I think we need to be sending all our congressmen and senators documentations that, unless you make IPAC register as a foreign country, we're voting you out. But here's the thing. It's so ingrained. A lot of people don't know. Those parasites that got kicked out in 1492. These were the same parasites that came here. These were the same parasites that came to Jamaica and did so much fuckery that, the entire city of Port Royal sunk. I'm only guilty of being able to read at a 3rd grade level, bro. That's what history says.
So remember when ZOG was just a conspiracy theory? The zombie-occupied governments? That secret group that runs all of our institutions behind the scenes and uses it to conspire against Christians and Muslims? Wikipedia and search engines still call it a conspiracy theory. But then again, zombies run that too, don't they? The Great Awakening, the Great Noticing. It's the first step in our freedom. So keep pointing it out and sharing it with people. Florida is now allowing blue...
Esau is the father of some of the most wicked nations. You'll find Esau's descendants certainly in Europe, in Edom.
We have whole books on the destruction of Edom. Edom destroyed. That's when Mashiach is supposed to destroy Edom. It's all over Tanakh. These are just enemies of the Jewish people. But yeah, they're the arch enemy of the Jewish people. They are Edom, they are Rome, and they're Rome.
Who is Rome today? Europe and the United States.
God will take revenge against all the Gentiles, descendants of...
The funny thing is, they literally have the power to sink the fucking economy and then tell me some bumbleclot bullshit about God did this shit. They literally do. They could cause whatever Great Depression of 100 years ago. They could scare the freaking people with the economy right before the fucking right before 1913, the Federal Reserve, they could do all that shit. They could make the money system contract so the people cry out, say, please give us some security, give us some security. We'll give you security. It's called a Federal Reserve, when they were the one that cost the freaking money to contract in the first place. So all this shit that they're saying, they literally have the power to sink our fucking economy and then turn around and tell you about God did that shit.
Of Esav, what we call today Christians, for the Holocaust, for the Inquisitions, for the destruction of the temples, for many, many things that they still have an open bill, still don't pay for it.
And this is going to be God's avenging.
All these Europeans,
God's avenging.
all the Romans, all the people
God's avenging
that came from Esav. When the time comes that Hashem...
If you didn't work your way into controlling the people's money, their media, all the business, work your way into all the major parts, pay off every congressman who will fall to their knees, you wouldn't be in a position to talk about, yeah, you could do this and da-da-da, and suggest as some freaking God is going to do it.
Takes revenge against you. How great it will be the day that Hashem will take all your filthy people, include your children, and destroy all of them for what you did.
Esav is the father of some of the most wicked nations.
UK youth, a striking 54% today, believe that Israel shouldn't exist. We have seen the most deranged behavior from Israelis. And I'm not just even talking soldiers. We've seen deranged behavior from soldiers, but we've seen deranged mothers on TikTok dressing up their children, you know, with black eyes and missing teeth, or making fun of parents losing babies. We've seen...
This is something that they do. Look up that whole Philadelphia thing when they go through with the black face. They're making fun of you after they destroy you. They are known for that during the Purim. You see them going around in blackface. This is a whole festival when we celebrate how we destroy our enemies. You see what they're doing now? After they went and murk all those people, now they're like pretending to be them and laughing in their face. These are the face eaters, the people that go around and steal everyone's identity.
Seen soldiers urinating on Palestinian captives, children attacked by dogs, sexual assault, rape. At a certain point, for those of us who are looking at Israeli societies, this is looking psychotic. Are Israelis aware that public perception today of Israel is of a deeply depraved society? I mean, you can put all the Hasbro spin that you want on this. There is no putting lipstick on a pig.
Public opinion is turning against Israel. And here was his solution to that.
I am living out the Zionist dream. I have been at Meta for almost 9 years. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media.
Majority of Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. When you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman and AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, we got
masters of the universe.
And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on.
We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media.
And when we do that, the future of Israel will be strong.
UK youth, a striking 54% today, believe that Israel shouldn't exist.
Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, assembled a staff of experts to research the origin of European Jews who had been entering America in large numbers since the 1880s. Ford's research cost him several millions of dollars, and in 1923, he published the results in a 4-volume work titled The International Jew. It was Henry Ford's conclusion that the Jews were not descendants of the biblical Israelites. Ford further proved that these Jews committing all sorts of crimes while under the cover of being called chosen people of the Bible were rapidly taking economic and political control of America. Henry Ford also claimed that the Jews had secretly gained control of most Protestant seminaries and Christian book publishing houses and had been able to remove almost all criticism of Jews from Christian literature. In summing up his findings, Henry Ford stated, "The Jews are not the chosen people, though practically the entire church has succumbed to the propaganda which declares them to be so." Ford's book caused a major uproar for a few years, but soon disappeared from colleges, universities, and public libraries, and became unobtainable at any price. Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford.
The people who call themselves but are not, as Jesus said, they did not speak Hebrew. They spoke Yiddish. They come from Eastern Europe primarily. They have no blood ties to the Holy Land. That is why they've outlawed DNA testing in Israel.
Yeah, I've looked up the DNA test. They basically have none.
It would prove that they have no claim or connection to this land. They actually come from Eastern Europe. The people who call themselves but are not, as Jesus said, they did not speak Hebrew. They spoke.
Once we will leave this place, Hashem will bury America. All the assistants of Trump, Jews. All the assistants of Sleepy Joe, Jews. Obama, Jews. Everyone around there, Reform Jews, conservative Jews. Everything was in Spain. Same thing was in many different countries. Jews
let him fucking tell you, since I'm going to be a madman and I'm going to be a bad person, then I'll tell you. Same fucking thing everywhere.
In charge of the world. Science, financials, politics, behind the president. How can I not be happy? This foolish Christianity that they invented, they took some things from Judaism and developed lots of nonsense on top of it. 2 billion Christians, which are idol worshippers. Chinese, Hindus, Buddhists, 6.5 billion people are idol worshippers. That according...
We created ISIS.
ISIS
is a CIA...
Because, you know, when someone like me study and find out and even make mention, all of a sudden I'm breaking the rule. Every group operates under a rule. We're going to think, act, and behave this way, and let's nobody talk about it. I'm not talking about it. He's talking about it. Israel's Secret Intelligence Services, huh? No, we're stupid. We could never figure this shit out.
Creation. John McCain, for heaven's sake, was over there with the ISIS officials. We created them. We still direct them. When ISIS warriors are injured in battle, where are they transported? They're transported, for heaven's sake, to Israel. They're treated by the Israelis in Israeli hospitals and brought back to battle.
There's a reason why al-Nusra and ISIS never attacked Israel, because they're sponsored by Israel and the CIA.
And he came up with the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. And if it were to have initials, it would be ISIS.
دخلت إسرائيل 5 مرات، كنت أقعد مع أطباء إسرائيليين. رحنا نضيع الشريط، لقينا بشخص ضابط اسمه أشرف، قعدنا معه، أعطاني أشرف تليفون إسرائيلي C2. كانت الفصائل تتلقى الدعم، تتلقى مدخل الجرحى، مقابل الأمر المشروط اللي هو تأمين منطقة الجدار الإسرائيلي. بعدها أعطونا تنفيذ روسية وشوية ذخيرة، 10 قواذف أربجية، وأعطونا 47 قذيفة أربجية.
We created ISIS. I mean, ISIS is a
Everyone knows that what happened on October 7th was an Israeli setup. Everyone knows.
What? Look at him smile!
So are you saying Benjamin Netanyahu deliberately boosted Hamas to try to prevent a Palestinian state?
Yeah, sure. He deliberately and systematically even told on record, whoever wants to avoid the threat of a two-state solution has to support my policy of paying protection money to the Hamas.
So what we did, with the permission of our Prime Minister, is to let Qatar to transfer a huge amount of money in cash, probably more than $1.4 billion. By doing it, we increase the power of Hamas.
Everyone knows that what happened on October 7th was an Israeli setup.
Israel has bought Google and YouTube algorithms. And if you watch anything political or religious, you are being targeted through a contract with the government. These two companies have signed a deal with the Israeli government, which alters search results on those who look up religious or political answers. And all of these are in favor of Israel. And on YouTube, they're actually removing posts that criticize Israel. Over 700 videos so far. And this deal revolves around religious questions related to Christianity and Judaism, to which Israel has bought ads on Google that will suggest answers that is pro-Israel. and as well as the contract with YouTube that will again change search results from what you put in. Let's say you ask a question about Gaza. You're going to be promoted videos that the Israeli government wants you to see through their $1 million advertisement deal that will see pro-Israeli videos replace those of what you've been watching. Disguised, as I said, like an ad campaign, it's simply going to be replacing the videos that you've been searching for. The worst part is we don't know how long this contract is or when it goes into effect. Follow for more. Israel has bought Google and YouTube.
Anyways, I presented some identities, okay, of certain ICE agents located specifically in Chicago. A group that I associate myself with went through some public records and found over 2,000 ICE agents, right? Well, throughout those 2,000 ICE agents, specifically 121 of them, right, had experience as an ex-IDF soldier. If you went up and down this entire list of individuals, you'd notice that their last names in particular, right, all lead back to one specific location with no other job experience. And maybe it won't let me post it because it's personal information. I have no idea. But there's literally a whole motherfucking list of these people, and they all look the same. Which tells me exactly why they're choosing to hide their faces, because just imagine, right, if some information like that were to get out, which is why I'm making this video once again. I'm just saying, if you look into the background of these specific individuals, you might notice that they're not exactly a U.S. citizen. That in itself would prove everything, especially why they're acting the way. Anyways, I presented some identities, okay, of certain ICE agents located specifically in Chicago. A group that I associate myself with went through some public records and found over 2,000 ICE agents, right? Well, throughout those 2,000 ICE agents, specifically 121 of them, right, had experience as an ex-IDF soldier. If you went up and down this entire list of individuals, you'd notice that their last names in particular, right, all lead back to one specific location with no other job experience. And maybe it won't let me post it because it's personal information. I have no idea. But there's literally a whole motherfucking list of these people, and they all look the same. Which tells me exactly.
Okay, folks, you know how this goes. Let's put 2 minutes on the clock, top 15 answers on the board. Why does everyone hate the Jews? Yes, Mel.
Because they're cheap.
50 points. Joyce.
Oh, Bill, I know this one. Because they control the media.
Show me they control the media.
How about because they killed Jesus?
I'd say killing a Messiah is a pretty Jewy thing to do. Oh, lightning round. Double the money.
Because they start all the wars in the world.
Because they control the world's financial institutions, leading all non-Jews to inevitable financial ruin while benefiting only themselves.
Because they used to kill Christian children and use their blood to bake their weird Passover bread?
Because, you know.
Because they run Hollywood.
Because, like, can they get over this Holocaust thing already?
Yeah. Move on, Jews.
Because they're rapists.
Ponzi schemers.
Globalists.
Because they're Jews.
One of the world's dirtiest secrets is that the exterminated Jews in Nazi Germany were not considered real Jews. They were considered Khazar Russians and Eastern Europeans whose ancestors converted to Judaism in 740 AD under their king, King Bulan. Their bloodline dates back to the Turkish tribes and to the powerful empire of Khazaria that once controlled all of Russia. Arthur Kessler, who wrote The 13th Tribe, claims that over 90% of today's Jews are racially non-Jewish. One of the world's dirtiest secrets is that the exterminated Jews in Nazi Germany were not considered real Jews. They were considered Khazar Russians and Eastern Europeans whose ancestors converted to Judaism in 740 AD under their king, King Bulan. Their bloodline dates back to the Turkish tribes and to the powerful empire of Khazaria that once controlled all of Russia. Arthur Kessler, who wrote The 13th Tribe, claims that over 90% of today's Jews are racially non-Jewish. One of the world's dirtiest secrets is that the exterminated Jews in Nazi Germany were not considered real Jews. They were considered Khazar Russians and Eastern Europeans whose ancestors converted to Judaism in 740.
But with a bitch like me, I'm not going to shut my mouth, and I'm not going to be intimidated. As an American who's protected by the First Amendment, who is tasked with doing a job that requires me to dig in, not get scared and run away, like a little bitch, right? I'm the kind of bitch that likes to dig in, and I'm not going to be intimidated by someone who has far more concern with a foreign country as opposed to our country here in America. I'm an American. I'm going to look out for America. Israel controls the United States, and I meant it. How are you going to argue otherwise? Okay, almost every single lawmaker on the left or right does the bidding of the Israeli government, either because they are legally bribed by AIPAC, or they're afraid that AIPAC is going to target them in some political campaign so they don't win re-election. I believe there's also a possibility of a blackmail operation. But yeah, I mean, we do anything and everything Israel wants. Why are the United States taxpayers tasked with paying for the bombs and the military of a foreign government when that foreign government had an economic surplus in 2021? The United States hasn't had an economic surplus since 2001. So yeah, our government is controlled by Israel. And I do not apologize for saying that. But with a bitch like me, I'm not going to shut my mouth.
Bombaclat. This Germs was his spiritual advisor. Oh, everybody know who this piece of shit turned out to be now. Wow, and they took the king down. Of course. Sue me, chew me, ta-na-na-na-na-na. All I really wanna say is they don't give a damn about us.
That Israel buys all of Congress. They famously brag openly on the internet about how they win 98% of their campaigns in America. When you look at the U.S. Senate, there are 100 U.S. senators, 2 per state. And 93 out of 100 current senators today in 2024 have taken Israeli AIPAC money in their campaigns to get themselves elected. Israel owns Congress. They brag about it. We all know about it. And if you're going to defend it, that's cool. That is your right. But it's important that you defend the facts about it, not some fantasy about it, as though Israel and Israeli money was not paying for everyone in Congress to be pro-Israel.
When you are only identifying yourself with a state ID or driver's license, you are operating under Congress and the government, which has been compromised. Correct our status, family, so that we can establish ourselves as a constitutional being under the state's constitution, creating us to be a national, no longer a U.S. citizen. And identify with your state ID and driver's license, you are enrolling yourself in a global biometric surveillance. You are under congressional ownership due to your Social Security. This is what converts your rights into privileges. The only way to restore your authority under the Constitution so that you are not operating under the home.
That the West plans to go to war against Russia, China, and Iran. An Anglo-American alliance that tells NATO countries what to do cannot win this planned war without the support of Turkey, Saudi Arabia, India, and Pakistan. Now you know why Western countries have to support mass immigration from such countries. European and Turkish men will be expected to fight Russia. Saudi and Pakistani men will be expected to fight Iran. Indian men will be expected to fight China. And British and American men will have to fight anyone anywhere in the world, though mostly at sea and in the air. And they're trying to get as many black Africans on board as well as cannon fodder, while Russia and China are equally interested in recruiting Africans for their side. Just like the European soccer competition, we may see blacks under different European flags fight each other to death for money. And we are doing all this grandiose confusion, mainly to defend Israel, but only by sacrificing Europe, Canada, the USA, and Australia in the process. The citizens of these places will be financially plundered in order to fund the war effort, while their men are being sent off to die at the front lines. Our homelands will be transformed forever and will not resemble their former selves after the war. In the meantime, I know that many Israelis and Zionists are thinking of relocating to places like Paraguay or Argentina, in case the state of Israel does not survive this war. The leader of Paraguay recently declared that he is proud to be a Jew, and the leader of Argentina, Milei, has converted to Judaism, although I suspect he was born that way. The female president of Mexico is also Jewish, and so is the leader of Ukraine. None of this makes any sense until you realize that most Ashkenazi Jews who form the Zionist leadership cadre are originally from Ukraine, such as Netanyahu, and they see Latin America as a safe place to flee to. So if the state of Israel does not survive Third World War, Latin America should expect to receive many millions of Jewish refugees who will eventually demand a new Zionist homeland there. My guess is they will take Paraguay. I also suspect that by that time, Europe will lay in ruins, and hundreds of millions of Europeans may need to migrate elsewhere because food, water, and energy will not be available after the war collapses the global supply chains. Europe cannot win this war. Whether the Anglo-American bosses win or lose, Europe will be sacrificed either way. Our people should expect to greatly suffer. We should prepare for it. You may have heard that the West plans to go to war against Russia, China, and Iran.
As a veteran, I'm just fucking sick and tired of our soldiers dying all over the fucking world for people that don't give a fuck about us. As a father of a current service member, I beg me youth to come home and start in blood clot family. I beg him come and I want him get caught up in that shit. I want none of our children is getting caught up in this shit. Not just mine. The next man's children, he love him too. How long are we going to keep sacrificing our children for these motherfuckers?
You know how efficient our House of Representatives and the government is when it comes to anything for Israel? Just in this year alone, during the Charlie Kirk assassination, they passed the Boebert bill, which punishes anyone who boycotts Israel, passed the bill to increase their spending by $9 billion of your taxpayer money to give to Israel so they can commit a Holocaust. They passed a bill to impose sanctions on the ICC for charging Netanyahu as a war criminal, in which he is. They passed a bill for loan guarantees, weapons guarantees for Israel. They've just introduced a bill to revoke any passports or deny passports to anyone who criticizes the government of Israel. The Republicans and Democrats alike can vote on all of these bills and pass them, but we can't get them to agree on releasing the Epstein files, bringing to justice pedophiles and human traffickers at the highest, most elite levels, and protecting these victims. We can't agree on that, but we can pass fucking 5, 6, 7 bills for anything for Israel. Meanwhile, American citizens like you and I struggle. Grocery prices have not gone down. Gas prices have not gone down. Fucking drug prices have not gone down. Big Pharma is still running amok and extorting U.S. citizens who are in fear of losing their life to a chronic illness, and they're profiting off of it. We have American citizens that have lost health care. We have American citizens that cannot afford health care. We have kids that are going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt to go to college just to come out to realize there's no jobs to be had. Interest rates are still out of this fucking world. But at least our government can just pass bill after bill after bill after bill for Israel. And at least we can send them all of our tax dollars to make sure that they have universal health care for free for all their citizens, as well as universal college for all their citizens. We're trillions of dollars in debt. They're billions of dollars in debt. And it's not Republicans. It's not Democrats. It's both of y'all. You're both at fault for this shit because you're controlled by fucking Israel. I've changed my political views from independent to officially fuck Israel. You know how efficient our House of Representatives and the government is when it comes to anything for Israel?
If Jewish people are waiting on their Messiah and Christians and Muslims are waiting on the Antichrist and the second coming of Christ, then why do Christians support Israel? Think about it. At the end times, when Jesus comes to fight the Antichrist, we're going to be standing next to the Muslims as they're cheering on Jesus too. It will be the Jewish people that will be cheering on the Antichrist. If Jewish people are waiting on their Messiah and Christians...
9/11 started as commercial insurance fraud. It was known in 1988 that the Twin Towers were condemned because they didn't want to pay the $2 billion to dismantle the buildings the hard way. Controlled demolitions was forbidden. When that was briefed to Dick Cheney as Secretary of Defense, I believe he said, "Praise the Lord, this is going to be a terrorism event that will give us a reason for invading Iraq and Afghanistan." And at that point, the 9/11, which was planned and executed by the Zionists, which is not the Jews. When I say Zionists, I'm talking about what's called the Red Mafia. That's the Russians, Israelis, and Americans who are a criminal network that happens to control Benjamin Netanyahu. It does not control Donald Trump. People don't understand that Trump is biding his time. The NSA is not about solving problems or making America safe. It's about keeping the money moving. The second reason that the program was canceled was because it was starting to reveal all of the Americans who were complicit in 9/11. The problem we have in the United States is that the intelligence community is all about spending a great deal of money doing 9/11 started as commercial insurance fraud. It was known in 1980.
Okay, the system is run through China, Israel, Ukraine, and us now. We didn't used to be as big a part, I think. But anyway, it's like you harvest the organs, and then you got to get rid of the rest. And that's what I think they are doing. It really just says Soylent Green in a different form. And anybody thinks this is just made up. We have videos, for example, in Ukraine of they call them the Chorny Transplantologia. I can barely say that. I don't speak Russian. I just read it. But anyway, it's the black transplantologists. And they stumbled onto these things. I know Putin knows about this. The Russian army knows about this. They underground harvesting areas. So you know, young Ukrainian soldier is not quite dead yet, but they don't think he's going to survive. Boom. 2 kidneys, 2 lungs, a heart.
The Russian president says Americans are literally eating each other. Watch
so
this.
President Putin has said a few things that's got me a little rattled, and I think it'll have you rattled as well.
This is insane.
Give me a second. Let me explain. President Putin of Russia came out on...
Abe Finkelstein already came out and told you what they're doing to you, that they're giving you your children to eat in sausages and hamburgers.
On the world stage, and he gave a speech. In that speech, he said, "I have proof," and this is all alleged. He said, "I have proof that the American people are eating each other, unbeknownst to them.
Some of us already know
that
this.
we are being fed each other.
Stay weird.
And we have a clue about it."
The Russian president says Americans are literally eating each other. Watch
So
this.
President Putin has said a few things that's got me a...
So whatever happened to the red cows that Netanyahu's supposed to sacrifice to bring his Messiah? I have a major update, but first, for those who don't know, Netanyahu is playing around with prophecy. He raised genetically modified cows in Texas to bring over to Blue State to sacrifice to bring a Messiah. Crazy but true, look it up. There's lots of websites dedicated to this, and South Park even did an episode on this, the ginger cow episode. So whatever happened to the ginger cows? One of them was recently discovered to have 2 black hairs on its entire body, found by rabbis with magnifying glasses, which is a blemish and disqualifies it. They use that cow in a practice run ceremony. They're serious about this. I hope their Indian allies don't find out about this, because to them, cows are sacred. You really can't make this stuff up. Now remember, Netanyahu's Messiah is supposed to come prove that Jesus and the Prophet Muhammad were wrong, and that he himself is the real Messiah. To Christians and Muslims both, this is the Antichrist. Their Messiah, Antichrist, is supposed to come and wipe us both out. So Netanyahu, while in the middle of a G-side, is actually trying to raise the Antichrist. You really can't make this stuff up. The world we live in. So whatever happened to the red cow?
Did you see this nonsense with Qatar today?
The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level.
Wait a minute, how did that get in there? My bad. This is the video I meant to show you.
Qatar asked for anything in exchange for that $400 million luxury jumbo jet. And how can the American people be so sure that they will not in the future?
I'm sorry. I meant to show you this video.
The Trump Organization, in partnership with Qatari Diyar and Dar Global, has announced its first real estate venture in Qatar, a $3 billion luxury development featuring the Trump International Golf Course and Trump Villas.
How do I keep messing this up? I'm so sorry. This is the video I meant to show you.
And I'm also proud that today we're announcing, we're signing a letter of acceptance to build a Qatar.
Don't raise your voice and go. Go, 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 go. Because you're inside of people. Try to understand. You're inside of people.
Let us leave.
What inside people?
Let us leave.
Yes. Go. What inside people?
Stop it!
What inside
Let's go. Let's walk.
Don't raise your voice and go. Go, 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 go. Because you're inside of people. Try to understand. You're inside of people. Please go.
Let us leave.
What inside people?
Let us leave.
Yes. Go. What inside people?
Stop it!
Let's go. Let's walk.
No humanity here.
Brooklyn, United Gays of America. Imagine the tunnels under this place. This juices is so lost that even the other juices are thinking about him. He's a weird juice. Even the children giving out leaflets to convert their uncle juices did not even give him a leaflet. But the other juices also didn't accept the leaflet. They said, we are already Jews. Stupid. This girl already got married 30 minutes ago. She is now a grown lady. Here we have a Russian business juice. You have all different types of juices in this area. Here is a silver reflecting juice, followed by a blue girl juice and a clown boy juices. I don't know where.
White power. Fuck Israel. Fuck Benjamin Netanyahu. Fuck Sally Black. Jihad. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
Are you Muslim?
Allah Akbar.
Are you Muslim?
Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
Do you live there?
White power. Fuck Israel. Fuck Benjamin Netanyahu. Fuck Sally Black. Jihad. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
Are you Muslim?
Allah Akbar.
Are you Muslim?
Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
Do you live there?
White power.
Welcome to the United States of Israel. This shit. You don't get it? As they say, stay fucking real. Never run down normality. Nobody that you consider is stay real. Bring your weirdness to the world. Let them know what the fuck you see. So this is the shit that I see.